Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the shop. If you're new here, this is our 2013 Mitsubishi FG and we're turning it into an overland camper. And most recently, I've been working on the lithium iron phosphate battery system, but today I think I'm going to switch to the other end of the camper and do some work on the furniture. Now, at the same time as working on the furniture in this end, I will be keeping an eye on the charging system for the lithium iron phosphate batteries, and I'll be using a little bit of a unique tool in order to help me monitor this system. The basic setup for the furniture in this end of the habitat box is going to be the same as what I did in the other end. What I mean is we'll have a raised platform floor in the center and a box on each side. And that means, just like in this end, I've got a lot of extrusion to cut. But just before I get started on that, and while this charger is ramped up with a high current flow, I want to show you a neat trick that I've picked up. See, if I were to look at this electrical system in operation, I would think everything is good. We've got 24 amps coming out of the charger, and everything looks happy. But I can't see electricity, so how do I know that everything's okay? Well, I picked up this really inexpensive thermal imaging camera that's going to let me see if there's a problem. So let's take a look at the system again, but this time through the thermal imaging camera. Now, it's not super high resolution, but we can definitely see there's some heat in the charger. We can see where the charger cord comes down and loops around. It's a little bit warm. We can also look around and see we've got one hot spot on the battery pack. Now, if I point with my finger to where that is, I'm pointing directly at this terminal. Now, it's not glowing dangerously super hot, but the ambient temperature down there right now is about 18 degrees, and the hot spot right now is about 34, and you can see that is pointing right at that terminal. And that, at a very quick glance, lets me know that there's resistance there, which is creating heat, and it's likely that that connection is just not quite as tight as it needs to be. So looking from much farther back, we can see the main source of heat down there is the charger, a little bit from the cable, and that one little hot spot down to the left over here. Everything else down there seems to be fine. So that gives me the confidence to know that I'm not going to have a meltdown happening while this system is charging. This is a super inexpensive little tool that can quickly identify any high resistance connections in your electrical system that will rob you of power and potentially could cause a fire. Take a look in the video description to get one of these for yourself. So with that out of the way, let's get cutting some extrusion. The rear bench seats will have the same basic dimensions as the one in the front dinette area, but these are a little longer and have to fit around the 45-degree corner in the back end of the habitat box. I make all the cuts at either 45 or 90 degrees, so the setup is pretty straightforward. My horizontal bandsaw makes repeating the exact same angle very easy, and it's using a 14 tooth per inch bimetal blade, which makes nice clean cuts through the aluminum. Using T-slot extrusion is a nice simple way to build strong, lightweight structures, but be sure to measure out a total length of what you need for your project, as it sure is easy to go through this stuff quickly. The first step in building the base of this seat box is the same as in the other end. I've got to insert one of these plastic clips into the end of each extrusion piece so they slide together and form a 90-degree corner. The only problem I have is I realized this morning I only had 2 of these clips left. But since I printed these on my 3D printer, I can just go inside and print some more. And while we wait for them to print, a quick word about our sponsor, you. If you're enjoying this content, why not give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe. You can always throw a comment down below if you've got any questions, and I'll do what I can to answer them. Share the video if you think it'll help someone, and if you want to go the extra step, go into the video description, scroll down to the Amazon links. Before you do any of your Amazon shopping, click one of those, and Amazon will send us a very small portion. With the parts now finished printing, I can prep some more nut slugs, and some more, and some more. Yeah, I go through a lot of these as well. To make the base square, these corner pieces actually go in the underside. On top, you can see I've got nut slugs, and that's where we'll attach these corner brackets. The corner brackets will then hold the verticals in place, which in turn, when tightened down, actually hold the corners together. Next up is the mid inboard crosspiece, and this is actually the start of the floor. So I have this front corner
cut back on a 45 for the piece that will run across to the other side.
I always start the assembly with all of the fasteners loose. This allows the corner brackets to shift around a little for easier alignment. Next, I'm adding a cross brace for the front corner to help stiffen the vertical from bowing in or out.
The next piece to get installed is this front corner. It slips down over top of this corner piece and gets attached by one bolt in the back. As more of this structure gets attached, there will obviously be more things holding this corner in place. But for now, that one bolt will do the trick. The next piece to go in will be the one that goes along the outer wall. I'm gonna have to do some adjustment to get this one to go into place. You'll notice there's a gap at the back. And that's because the next piece to tie to these pieces is going to run all the way across to the other side.
Building with T-slot can be quick and easy to do, but you sure do use a lot of brackets and hardware. By 3D printing my own brackets, I'm able to produce them on demand, as well as customizing them to exactly what I need when I need them. If you're looking for a 3D printer, check out the video description for what I use.
I still have a couple fasteners to do up on this side, but I can't go a whole lot further until I build the bench for the other side because it supports the pieces that run across. But that said, I think I got pretty far today. I've got most of a bench built over here, and we know where our tight and loose connections are on this side over here. And with the electrical system coming along reasonably, I'm really looking forward to getting air conditioning up and running in here because it's a bit warm. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.